It's one of the craziest stories in all of tech. How does a company that just wanted to make video games look awesome accidentally build the literal engine for the entire AI revolution? That is the story of NVIDIA. It is a wild ride from a diner booth all the way to the top of the world. So let's dive in. Okay, first things first, just look at this number. $3 trillion. That's a 3 with 12 zeros after it. At its peak, that's what NVIDIA was worth. For a little while there, it was actually the most valuable company on the entire planet. And here's the really wild part. This $3 trillion giant, it didn't start in some fancy Silicon Valley lab. Nope. It started with a handshake deal between three engineers huddled in a Denny's diner booth way back in 1993. So you gotta ask, right? How does that even happen? How do you go from a meeting at a Denny's to becoming the center of the entire tech universe? Well, the answer is this incredible 30-year saga filled with near-death moments, some really gutsy bets, and what you could call one amazing accidental masterstroke. Okay, so it all starts with this one simple idea. The founders, sitting in that diner, realized that if you wanted to make truly realistic 3D graphics for video games, you were going to need a whole different kind of computer chip, something that just didn't exist yet. So, most computers run on what's called a CPU, a central processing unit. And a good way to think about a CPU is like a master chef in a fancy kitchen. This chef is a genius, absolutely brilliant at doing one really complicated, difficult thing at a time, and with incredible precision. But see, for graphics, you don't really need that one master chef. What you need is an entire kitchen crew. I'm talking hundreds of line cooks, all just chopping vegetables at the exact same time. That is a GPU, a graphics processing unit. Its superpower isn't doing one complex thing. It's doing thousands of simple things all at once. It's all about massive parallel processing. Now, hang on to that idea because it's going to be really important in a bit. But of course, before NVIDIA could even dream of changing the world, they just had to survive. I mean, their early days were just brutal, insane competition, and one moment in particular that almost took the whole company down before it even had a chance to get off the ground. So check this out. NVIDIA gets its first big break, taking money from the gaming giant Sega to build the chip for their next big console. But after 2 years of working on it, they have this horrifying realization. Technology was moving so fast that their chip was going to be obsolete on the very day it was supposed to come out. Now, here's where it gets crazy. In a move that would terrify most founders, the CEO, Jensen Huang, he just kills the project. He calls up Sega, tells them it's not going to work, gives them their money back, and then bets the entire company, and they only had like 4 months of cash left in the bank, on a completely new design. And that bet, that incredibly risky pivot, it led them straight to a chip called the Riva 128. And it was a monster hit. I mean, it sold 3 million units in its first 4 months. It literally saved the company from going under. And that moment right there, that's what created the NVIDIA culture we see today. Be brutally honest with yourselves, and when you need to change, you change, and you do it fast. So after they basically won the graphics card wars of the late 90s, NVIDIA did something in 2006 that at the time probably looked like a really minor decision, but it turned out to be the single most important bet in the company's entire history. They released this thing called CUDA. Now, CUDA wasn't a new chip, it was software. And that's what's so important. Think of it like a key that lets scientists and researchers finally unlock the power of that GPU kitchen crew. All that parallel processing power, but for things that had absolutely nothing to do with video games. And if you look at this timeline, you can just see the incredible patience they had, right? They were already dominating gaming in '99. Then they launched CUDA in 2006. And for years, and I mean years, it was just this quiet, expensive side project for scientists. It was losing money. It took 6 whole years before the AI world finally woke up and realized what NVIDIA had built. And that brings us to the tipping point. The year is 2012. And there's this university competition that's about to show the entire world what NVIDIA's little side project could really do. So a team of researchers, they built this AI model called AlexNet. It's basically a type of digital brain. And here's the crazy part. They trained it using two regular off-the-shelf NVIDIA gaming GPUs, using that CUDA software we were talking about. And when they entered it into this big image recognition contest, well, it didn't just win. It absolutely annihilated the competition. It was like a pro athlete showing up to a middle school sports day. I mean, just look at the numbers here. They really tell the whole story. Before AlexNet, the best systems had an error rate of around 26%. AlexNet just smashed that, dropping it all the way to 15%. This wasn't just a little step forward. This was a giant leap, a revolution. Suddenly, the entire AI community realized that that kitchen crew way of thinking, the GPU architecture, was exactly what they'd been looking for. And just like that, NVIDIA had accidentally spent 6 years building the perfect engine for an AI boom that was about to explode. And the results? Well, this chart says it all. You're looking at the company's data center revenue. That's the division selling GPUs for AI. It just exploded. It went from $3 billion in 2020 to more than $47 billion just 4 years later. The company that was built for gamers was now, without a doubt, the king of AI. So you might be wondering, why hasn't anyone else caught up? It seems simple enough, right? Just build a faster chip. But NVIDIA's advantage, what people in business call their moat, it's not just about the hardware. It's about something way, way deeper. See, their moat really has two big parts. Part one, yeah, it's the hardware. They make the fastest, most powerful AI chips on the planet, no question. But part two, that's the real killer advantage. It's that CUDA software ecosystem they quietly started building all the way back in 2006. And this, right here, is the real secret weapon. You've got over 4 million developers who know how to write code for CUDA. Every single major AI framework you've heard of, TensorFlow, PyTorch, they're all optimized to run on it. You have decades of scientific papers that just assume you're using it. For the entire industry to just switch to something else now, the cost, the effort, it would be absolutely massive. It's not the chip that's unbeatable, it's the whole ecosystem around it. So when you put it all together, it points to the single biggest lesson from NVIDIA's entire 30-year journey. It's the key that really explains their whole strategy. And it's this. In tech, the platform always beats the product. See, Jensen Huang, the CEO, he understood this way earlier than most. Anyone can copy a piece of hardware, a product, but a platform, an ecosystem that millions of people are building their own careers and businesses on top of, that just gets stronger and more impossible to compete with the bigger it grows. When you really boil it down, the story of NVIDIA, from making that terrifying call to Sega, to pouring money into CUDA for a decade when it made no sense, it's all about having the guts to sacrifice what's easy and comfortable today for a much bigger, even if uncertain, future. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. For ourselves. It's so easy to get caught up in today's deadline, today's project. But what's the platform you're building? What's that skill or that relationship or that system that you're investing in today that might not pay off for another decade, but could end up changing everything when it finally does?